Hey everyone, LordCrom here. So, like millions of others, I'm a Sopranos fan. And I, along with millions of others, sat and watched the series final a few months ago. And when the screen went black, I myself was absolutely pleased with the ending. I loved the way that it ended. I had my own opinion about what happened to Tony and his family. And I know millions of others had their feelings about what happened, and it was largely debated about whether or not Tony was killed, whether or not him and his family continued on. And there was a lot of people that were actually very pissed off with the way it ended because they wanted a definitive ending and they wanted David Chase to say exactly what it was he truly meant for the ending. And at the time, David Chase said he would never discuss the ending, he would never give any details as to what happened, and he even went on a small hiatus vacation, got away from his phones and everything, because he didn't want to respond to any comments about the series final. Well, apparently HBO is releasing a book here soon called The Sopranos, The Complete Series. And David Chase comments on the final of the series. And these are his statements from the most recent issue of Entertainment Weekly, portions that were taken from the book. This wasn't really about leaving the door open. There was nothing definite about what happened, but there was a clean trend on view, a definite sense of what Tony and Carmela's future looks like. Whether it happened that night or some other night doesn't really matter. He then goes on to say there had been indications of what the end is like. Remember when Jerry was killed? Silvio was not aware that the gun had been fired until after Jerry was on his way down to the floor. That's the way things happen. It's already going on by the time you even notice. From those two statements right there, it seems to lead you to a definite indication of where it was David Chase believed the ending went. And from my views and understanding of what the statements read, I indicate it to say that Tony Soprano died. Whether or not it was the gentleman in the restroom who stepped out and shot him, or someone else in the restaurant, from those two statements right there, I interpret it as that Tony Soprano was no longer with us as soon as the screen went black. And to be honest, that's the way I felt that it had ended when the screen went black the night I watched it. And I was absolutely fine with that. I loved the way that David Chase ended it. I would have rather it end that way as opposed to ending with, you know, Tony being actually shot and they show it. But so apparently David Chase has pretty much come out and told us the fate of Tony Soprano. And now that this is out there, I'm just curious to hear the debate start up again and get reactions from everybody and how they feel about it now that it sounds like David Chase has come out with his true thoughts and feelings on the final outcome of Tony Soprano. So my interpretation and the way that Mr. Chase's statements read, Tony and Carmela, possibly the kids, did not make it out of the restaurant alive. And that's how the series ended. And let me know what you think. Until next time, LordCrom, out.